Hey everybody, it's PartyElite. Welcome back to our mini-series in Endless Legend 2. Once again, we're playing as the Aspects faction in this very early build of the game, and just as a quick reminder, the end of the previous episode saw us witness our first ever Tidefall. That's when the oceans of the planet Citadel recede and reveal a bunch of new land to us to potentially explore, expand into, and exploit. But it also potentially exposes us to brand new threats. First things first, we're seeing these fortresses. Now, these aren't really threats, let's call them opportunities instead, because they're not going to attack us, but should we go to investigate, we will have to deal with some pretty threatening armies to take on whatever opportunities are presented here. Equipment, resources, all sorts of good stuff. We can even actually convert fortresses into camps of ours if we so choose, which is a nice, cheap way, unless you lose all your units, to expand your current holdings and the territory that you actually have claims over. So we've got one fortress up over here, and we have another fortress down over here. In the list of new opportunities, we also have these additional deeds, quests that are only available after Tidefalls happen. And as you can see, there are multiple Tidefalls that will happen over the course of a single game. And with the first one behind us now, we're able to claim Bringer of Death if we're the first to eliminate at least 20 units, giving us one level for all the heroes in our empire. And we can separately also claim Bringer of Peace if we're the first to pacify 6 villages. That gives us +5 science per pacified village under Protectorate status. Now, I must note that these only apply after the first Tidefall. So all the villages we pacified previously don't count for this. As you can see, we have 0 out of 6, even though we actually have a few pacified villages out there. Same thing with regards to eliminating units. Had we eliminated some units before the Tidefall, they wouldn't count for the Bringer of Death deed. So there are different deeds as you go further and further along, and they kind of keep you on your toes, keep you doing different things as the Tidefalls happen. Now on to threats. We're not necessarily sure that we've been exposed to a threat over here, but you could very easily imagine that somewhere over here lies another faction laying in wait. I mean, if we go just a little bit further, you'll see our Aspect brethren not all that far away, and you could probably see these two lands being connected. Realistically, what's probably happened is we've got land up to somewhere here, they've got land up to somewhere here, and the next Tidefall might have actually connected us. But you can see how the game evolves as you go further along and as these Tidefalls happen. Now, here, we're aware of these guys because, of course, we're sharing vision through Coral, so we know they're here and we can kind of prepare for them if we feel the need to. But who knows what mystery awaits over here? Who knows if the next Tidefall will actually push us down southwards, and, I mean, God knows what's waiting down over here. The map is massive. There's plenty of room, and there's 4 factions. We know that much. So the Tidefalls kind of keep you on your toes, keep you wondering where the threats might come from, where the opportunities might rest, and I just think it's such a cool idea. Sorry for belaboring the point of Tidefalls again. I know I did a little bit at the end of the previous episode, but I just think it is such a good idea that I can't help myself. But yeah, that's one of the core mechanics of Endless Legend 2 that makes it different from any other 4X game I've ever played. I don't think this feels familiar whatsoever, and it really does change how a campaign feels. Now, with that said, let's actually get this party started, shall we? I'm going to go ahead and send our delegation over here to try and take care of this fortress. We don't know what awaits us at the subterranean shrine, but there's only one way to find out, right? We can go ahead and attack it. We can retreat if we feel overly threatened by it, but I feel like, when the inevitable battle begins, we actually have a decent position right next to this fortress because we'll have the high ground. There's some decent wooded areas to provide us some protection, because in combat all these things do matter in terms of dealing out damage and staying protected from it. So we'll send our delegation up there, and we'll actually top it off by getting this delegation to join up with this one before we actually hit that fortress. And I'm kind of tempted to do this one as well. And I mean, technically, if I was going to be smart about it, I'd probably do this one first and then go after this one because we have to explore in this direction. But I've set my mind on chasing after this one first, and so that's what we'll do. Now the question is, do we want to turn this into a camp, or do we want to just loot it? I believe those are always the options available to us. I can't remember if the rewards are different. So there's obviously these rewards that are listed here, but there's also rewards for looting them. And I think it's always a bunch of influence, and that might be my kind of prime motivator here. Because if we secure a bunch of influence, we can go ahead and finally establish our city down over here. We can join it to this this reef over here. Reef? I'm thinking coral, so coral reef. We can evolve this into a camp and join them together and have our second city up and running. So I'm probably chasing after influence right now, is what I'm thinking. But nonetheless, let's actually get there first, and then we'll cross that bridge when we get there, or perhaps burn it instead. That's this turn done. Onwards we go. God, it's always so nice to see the coral spread like that. Again, though, just as a reminder, we are hoping to see it spread in this direction to secure this additional village to pacify it, because we have our Knot of the Chorus main quest line requiring us to pacify 2 villages by any means. Now, obviously we can explore other means, but I would like to do it through the coral if the opportunity presents itself, just because that feels like unique to us. Anyway, back on task. Let's go ahead and move up to as far as we can go. Trying to figure out what angle I'd like to attack from. The angle of attack, whether you're attacking a fortress or you're attacking another army or another city, determines how the battle spreads out on the battlefield. If you're familiar with Humankind as an example, the last game from Amplitude, combat spreads out across the map. Individual units are able to move through individual hexes, and the battles are turn-based battles happening within a turn at the world level. So there are global turns, and then there are rounds in battle within that one global turn. It'll make sense as the fight kicks off, but I just wanted to sort of give you a precursor to what you're about to see. Let's end our turn there. And I think let's dive on in. There's no reason to hesitate. Oh, you know what? Actually, there is. Let's go ahead and take a quick look and see if we don't have a potential companion who could help us out here. So we're not sure what Athena would do. No unlocked ability. Again, this is a very early build of the game, so you're going to see a lot of placeholders and filler text and missing strings and things like that. Don't be too worried about that. But let's find something that we know will actually help us. Nothing here. Oh, maybe this is because they're on our council? Nah, that doesn't. I don't think so. Choose a soulmate for the hero. Dang, this went from being that escalated real fast. It went from being a companion to a full soulmate. Okay, fair enough. We've got this person, self-sacrifice. Negative 50% health on hero, but plus 25% health on non-hero in hero's army. So everybody else gets a bit more health. And then we have, so that's Solaster, who I guess we got from, oh yeah, oh look, it's a bunch of these little guys pretending to be one big guy. This is from that one pacified village. That's adorable. These guys are, well, these are adorable. And then we've got Firebrand Perrin, who is from the, what are they called? The blacksmith-like people who we pacified, the first people we pacified in this game. Nonetheless, Firebrand Perrin gives us Spoiled Rotten, plus 5 defense on non-hero in hero's army. Truth be told, this sounds like all benefits, no negatives versus this. I mean, I say it sounds like, it's quite literally only pros versus this, which has pros and cons. I'm going to go with Firebrand Perrin. Let's go ahead and assign you as our soulmate, evidently. And that's that. Hopefully I don't regret that decision. It feels like a powerful boon, so we'll stick with it. And you know what, actually, since we're doing it, let's take a look at equipment quickly as well. +1 might. No, we'd much rather have the +1 determination, because again, that ties into one of our abilities, right? If I can recall which one it was. Yeah, scoped shot. Deals 2 extra damage per determination. Which, that might not seem like a lot, but it does add up when you consider what unit HPs can be. Alright, I'm glad we did that though, and with that done, let's go ahead and make sure the entire army is selected and dive into this battle of the Subterranean Shrine. Vast edifices, some fallen, some still standing, populate these cavernous halls, and the faint aroma of something burnt licks the cold, damp air. Go ahead and check it out. What do we got? Fortress Denizens, level 1. Power estimation of 594, which is just a little bit more than ours, so I think we'll actually be able to take care of these guys. I feel a lot better about this now. Okay, they've got a Tyrant of the Fortress, and of course, every unit has their own skills that you'll want to kind of learn and get familiar with, and some of these are common between units, of course. Some will stand out as unique, but like Wall Breacher is something that many have, Juggernaut is something that many will have, and I think some of our units are actually good against Juggernauts? I'm trying to remember. Could be mistaken. I thought we were. But yeah, so we've got the Tyrant of the Fortress, Mighty Imperial Pike, and a couple of occultists as well. Bloodmending. Restores health. On damage. Okay, gotcha. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so here are our options. We can either seize it and convert the fortress into a camp, or we can plunder it and get 300 influence. I'm going to go ahead and plunder it. If we want to claim this territory later, we absolutely can. It's a tiny sliver of land right now and probably will remain so until the next Tidefall. So let's just go ahead and plunder instead. Now, again, because we came in from this side, we're able to deploy our units over here. If we had come in from this side, then we'd be able to deploy them probably over here. There might maybe have been some overlap. If we'd come in from this side, then we might have had very limited space to actually deploy our units, and many of them would have been, well, limited from actually arriving on the battlefield. So you want to be very considerate of like where you're coming from based on the terrain and how you intend to use it. So this actually feels pretty good. There's some good spots that will block enemy approaches. They can't walk through the pacified village. They can't walk through the ridges, of course. They'll be deploying up over here, and we're down over here. We've got some high ground over here, right? So this is already higher than where they're deploying. Then this is higher than where we're standing right now. We've got some forests and stuff we can take cover in. But yeah, we're going to be using this territory to our advantage. And we're also going to explore the unique differentiator that the aspects have in combat. Just making a quick check of our layout here. Let's make sure you're deployed up over there instead. That sounds good to me. And I think I mentioned this earlier, but you cannot auto-resolve fortress battles. Those you have to fight yourself. So, with that said, let's dive on in. Starting with us. What is your... You got 3 moves, so you can actually get all the way up to us and strike us. I wonder if we can pull back a little bit to buy us just 1 extra round. Because what I'd like to do is actually, yeah, pull back and use this high ground to my advantage as they come towards us. So sure, let's bring you up to there, bring you up to there, and bring everybody else back as well. I'm worried about leaving a gap over here that they're able to kind of filter through, but hopefully they get stuck in over here or something. This fortification doesn't give us any benefit. Additional defense to the unit standing on it. Okay, I'll definitely take advantage of that. Sure, don't mind if I do. Pull you back to here. Let's pull you... Oh, we can't. Okay, let's pull you up to here, and then there's probably, terrain features that are not allowing us to come up over here, so we'll have to go around the long way. But it seems like everyone's moved. Let's go ahead and get you defending. End our first round. Okay. Who's left? No one? Okay. Let's go ahead and hit that button instead then. Enemy's going to come up. Right. Yeah, they're not able to reach us, but hopefully, because we're primarily ranged, we'll be able to hit a few of them before they're able to even kind of touch us. Oh, they're just a little too far away. This might not have worked out as nicely as I'd hoped. Pull you all the way back to there. We're probably going to eat some hits, actually. Seems you play a little part inside as fate, Claragira says. They're indifferent to us now. Fair enough. I just clicked out of the battle. That's why the music suddenly became less intense, and we saw the diplomatic overture there. Back to the battle, though, and the intense music. Let's go ahead and end our round there. Let these guys come just a little bit closer, and we can start opening fire. Okay, there we go. Took a hit. That's fine. Not too bad. Going to come around this way as well. I feel like we've lost the high ground advantage. Yeah, they've got forest cover. Looks like I have a bit of higher ground, actually. Okay. But yeah, hitting them when they're standing in forest cover is going to do less damage, unfortunately. But here's what we're going to do. Right now, you can see that these sentry units have a damage of between 35 to 45. There's a bit of randomness, between 35 to 45. But unique to the aspects, when one unit goes into a defensive stance, the rest see a boost to their damage output. And that does stack. So now it's 40 to 52. Back over here. Let's go ahead and... let's actually push up to here. And defend. Takes us up to 46 to 59. So a decent bit more damage. A decent bit more damage. And that applies to all of our units who aren't in defensive stance. This isn't a lot of damage output, actually. This is actually kind of scary. Alright, fire away. Let's hope for like a critical or something. Fire away. And... fire away. Let's go. I'll take it. I'll take what I can get. Hopefully we'll be okay. Again, these guys are in defensive positions. Defensive stances, I should say. And so they should take a little bit less damage. Ooh, okay. So this is really the scary one. And I mean really the scary one. Keeping our eyes on the enemy elsewhere as well, though. Go ahead and defend once more. Defend once more. And again, the harmonious tactics that you see popping up, that's this unique aspect that I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and use that to our advantage again. Fire away. Fire away. And now I am able to use my active skills here. Scope shot. Do a bit more damage, but it wouldn't eliminate. Okay. And then we have Cipher of Horror as well, which uses our consumable. Again, this is based off of one of the items that we have on Polemophon, right? Uses that consumable up, but allows us to create a horror on a target tile. I don't think now is the time to use that, because actually I'm feeling pretty good about the battle. As long as we don't lose this unit, I'll be absolutely pleased. Just wondering if we do use Scope Shot or not. Ignore the defense of the targeted units, deal 80% of the damage, and deal 2 extra per determination. Oh. Actually, it's significantly higher. 47. Sure, let's go ahead and pop that. Just so we can see what it looks like. Why not? Take a bit of damage there. A bit of damage. Oh no, you're coming around. Dang. So now because these ranged units are right next to a melee unit, they're actually going to be negatively impacted by it. We should still... yeah, no. That's not ideal at all. Okay, let's see. Can I... how do I want to play this? Probably should have saved the scoped shot for this guy instead. I could eliminate you like this. Trying to figure out the best spread of actions here. All right, let's stick to what we've been doing. It's just these guys. I feel like I should defend with these guys instead, because they're doing so much less damage now. Broken Focus that you can see listed in the attack preview down there is reducing their attack output by 30%. So here, let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and make you defend instead, and use Harmonious Tactics to strengthen these guys instead. Finish you off with these guys. There you go, efficient against Juggernaut. That's what I was looking for previously. Bring you down over here. Yeah, sure, let's do that. So it's not like one specific unit gives the Harmonious Tactics or anything like that. Any unit that goes into defend mode gives Harmonious Tactics buffs to every other unit that is planning on attacking. Go, and fire over here. Beauty, okay. Feeling alright. Worried about these guys coming in and eliminating this unit. Oh, that was a decent bit of damage. Ideally, I wouldn't lose any unit, but that's not realistic, obviously. And I can't pull back because we'll be hit... well, first of all, we're incapacitated. Or slowed too, rather. We've lost all of our movement points. So we can't pull back. But even if we didn't have that situation, pulling back would open us up to an attack of opportunity, and that would probably eliminate us. Okay, let's put you to defend. Let's see if we can't eliminate this unit as a priority. Fire away. Fire away, let's go. Nice, got that critical, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So here's the deal. Who goes which way? 25 to 36. Alright, let's go up there first. Just in case. Glad I checked. Okay, that's fine. Fire away, eliminate that unit, and hopefully these guys aren't able to do too much damage. We just gotta survive this round. And we will. We will. Go ahead and get you defending. Well, we don't just have to survive this round, we have to finish it in this round, I should say. Start with Polemaphon, fire away. Good crit, beautiful. And pop a shot. Ah, so close. Who does the honors? Who does the honors? These guys, they've taken a beating. They've been in the front line. They get to celebrate. Beautiful. There's our victory. Good stuff. First manual battle, first victory. 550 dust. I really got to start spending some of this money. We also got ourselves a heavy mace, which unfortunately Polemaphon can't use. Torso leathers. Didn't we already have some of those? And a flask of dustfire. I think that's what we need for that one quest, if I'm not mistaken. Name sounds familiar. Otherwise, we've also gained some veterancy for our units. So Polemaphon hasn't gained anything from the veterancy. He's gonna. Veterancy doesn't matter to heroes because heroes use experience to level up, and I'm pretty sure he's level 2 now. So we'll take a look at that screen shortly. Otherwise, we've got extra health, extra damage, and extra defense for our sentry. Both of these guys. And the same thing for our envoys. Envoys? Envoys. Anyway, good stuff. Acknowledge that. Take our massive pool of influence as well. And as soon as we can, we're going to go ahead and pull back into friendly territory to heal these guys up. They took a serious beating. But yeah, very pleased with that. Looking over your flask of dustfire. Yeah, that's what we need. Okay, well, let's take a look at some stuff here. Flask of dustfire, what do you do? It gives us the skill, Flask of Dustfire. Power. Cool. Okay. Heal the allied unit. Oh, for 40 health. Don't consume the action of the hero, but destroy the consumable after use. 40 health is no joke. That can turn the tide of a battle. Alright. Here's what I'm thinking. We were planning on maybe taking this fortress on anyway, right? So why don't we go ahead and move in this general direction. And if the coral hits this village or hits this village, completing this quest while we're making our way down, then so be it. We're gonna hold on to the Flask of Dustfire. If it doesn't, we'll hand off the Flask of Dustfire and complete 2 quests in one swoop. That sounds like a plan to me. But first, let's take a look at our hero's skill tree. We've gained ourselves a point by leveling up, and we're able to spend it across a multitude of options. We can get ourselves new passive or active skills, or separately, we can simply improve our various attributes. For example, I might want to pump our determination up from 2 to 3, because that would make the damage output from scoped shot go from 4 to 6, right? Not insignificant. You kind of saw how much of a difference small numbers can actually make in combat now. So that's an option, or we can get any one of these options. Some of these are tied to the faction. Some are tied to a combination of the faction and their class, and the final set are tied to their class. So again, this is an archer class hero, so we've got things like recovery shot. When using this active skill on friendly units, restore health equal to 40% of the hero's maximum damage to the targeted unit. Ooh. Restores 4 extra health per determination. So once again, a high determination is extra helpful here. Cool. And then that can upgrade to patched up, which changes it from 40% up to 60% of the hero's max damage, restoring 6 extra health instead of 4 extra health per level of determination as well. So you know, that those are obviously tied together. Here we've got Guiding Light. When in battle, adds 5 damage to non-hero ranged units of the army specifically, okay? And adds 1 extra damage chance per intuition. 1 extra damage chance. What does that mean? Like, hit twice? Not crystal clear on that, actually. Okay, curious about that. Then we've got Not Connected, so this isn't tied the same way these are. We've got Rain of Arrows. Now we'll need to have already spent 4 hero points before we'll unlock this next level, and then 8 before we can unlock that final level. I didn't mention that previously, sorry. But yeah, Rain of Arrows, active skill, deals 60% of the hero's damage, deals 5 extra damage per determination. And then finally, we've got Pinning Volley, which is 75% of the hero's damage output, 8 extra damage per determination, and applies slow 2 status to targeted units. And these are, of course, connected, as you can see. What do we have here? Terrain logistics. So this is a passive skill. These two are active. Guiding Light's passive, sorry. These two are active skills. You have to actually click on them and target a unit to use them. This here is a passive skill, much like Guiding Light. What does it do? When gathering a curiosity, gain experience to all units of the army and 2 extra experience per intuition. Guerrilla tactics. When in battle, add 10% critical chance to non-hero range units of the army. Add 2% extra critical chance per intuition. Man, intuition. It's interesting to see the spread. You can see the icon next to the skill. The attribute that impacts the skill you're looking at. Eye for weakness when in battle adds 10% damage to non-hero range units of the army. Extra damage per intuition. Anyway, sorry, I'm hovering over each and every one of these and reading each and every one. I'm sure that's the most riveting viewing experience. But point being, these are all quite different. They all have different benefits attached to them. But of course, when you take one, you have to skip out on a different one, and that's always the hardest when it comes to making these decisions. I'm kind of tempted. I feel like I should chase after something that's tied to determination only because we already have equipment that helps with that. But honestly, Nature of the Beast feels like, yeah, extra health is always good. This helps us gain experience a bit more quickly for non-hero units of the army. This adds 3 defense to all units of the army when defending. Adds 1 extra defense per resilience as well. And God knows we'll be using that frequently, right? Because we're going to be using the harmonious tactics. You know what? Let's go with deflecting stance, I think. Let's go, I think, with deflecting stance. To all units. Yeah, do it. Go ahead and confirm that. And again, separately, I could just instead increase our determination, right? But no, let's get deflecting stance. Passive skill, good. And it gets added to the set down over here, of course, for future reference. All right, that's our turn done. Let's see if something awaits. I wouldn't mind actually recruiting an additional unit just to go exploring potentially. I don't want to split the army up because we have to take on this fortress as well, but we'll see. We'll see. Oral spread. Fair enough. There is this curiosity up over there. Slight detour, right? Let's go ahead and pick it up. Ooh, okay, what was this? Is too long to even read. It's like increased vision range for 10 turns. And increased damage, it looks like, for 10 turns as well. Yeah, clarity adds 1 vision range, and well equipped adds 5 damage for 10 turns. All right, let's try and hurry our way down. We'll be able to heal when in friendly territory. Should be enough time spent healing as we make our way to this fortress, and that shouldn't take us 10 turns. Oh, we can move a lot farther. Well, it definitely won't take us 10 turns to get down here, but we might want to spend some time camping out in friendly territory just to heal up fully. But cool, that was a good curiosity. I'm glad we picked that one up. Sweet. Spread. Still not in the right direction. That's fine. Fortress discovered. Oh, the coral gave us clear vision over this fortress as opposed to it being obscured in the fog of war. Go ahead and move you down to here. Sure. These guys will take some time to heal up. These guys will take like 3 or 4 turns to heal up. Fair enough. Let's we'll give them the order to recuperate. But first, Reefborn. What to do with you? What to do with you? People are happy. That's great. Decent industrial output. Maybe we could increase our growth rate a bit. What's our population looking like, actually? This is a fine spread. What improvement options do we have? So we just finished this community improvement to give us the extra food output. Do wonder if I shouldn't build another farm. Or if I don't... Yeah, you know what? Expand down this way. With all the influence I just got. And put some farms down over here. They'd be adjacent to the river. They'd be able to take advantage of the of the extra food down there. Don't want to be too wasteful either, because again, camps and city attachments and all that stuff are expensive too. But food does feel like a good thing to prioritize right now. Sure. Sure, 61. Oh, it's going to be expensive as hell. Oh, that's not so bad. 68's not terrible. Let's go ahead and get this one first, because it has 3 food as opposed to 2. Sure. And go ahead and plant a farm down over here. Of course, I say that, and then I take a look around to see what else I might be tempted by. But no, a farm it shall be. 6 turns it'll take. 500. Just buy this out, honestly. So much dust, man. So much dust. We could also rush to recruit a unit instead. 50 to 65 versus 30 to 38. This is the Observer. When attacking, applies marked status to targeted units, sorry. Cavalry, a bit more expensive in terms of upkeep. 161 is their threat level. I mean, these envoys treated us very well. And they had a very clear purpose. They would stand there, go in a defensive stance, and let our archers fire away. Whereas if I have some of these cavalry units, I'll be tempted. I know I'll be tempted to use them in attack as well, and I just give up on our harmonious tactics. But no, you know what? Let's go ahead and do this. Let's put you up there. Let's go ahead and spend the money. Because we have so much, right? And let's go ahead and send them in here. Let's pull this envoy back. I guess it'll have to wait until next turn. Let's pull you down to here, sure. I love the unit designs on the aspects. They're just so different from, again, anything I've ever seen. But yeah, let's go ahead and skip the rest of your turn. We'll pull this envoy over to explore, and we'll get these guys to form up before we hit this fortress, and hopefully the changed army composition doesn't throw me off completely. We should have the high ground. We should have decent defenses from all these forested areas as well for us. We should have all the upper hand over here, but that kind of cocky statement is exactly what gets you in trouble, right? Now, one thing to note is that we will not have the extra 5 damage on this unit, but it does 52 to 68 versus 28 to 34, which even with the plus 5s... Simple math, right? Simple math. End the turn there. And... yeah, geez, I used up so much of my influence already. Okay, you're indifferent. Fair enough. I was looking for... if I want to evolve this into a camp, 120. Ah, well, we'll loot this for influence as well, because again, this is not the most amazing like tract of land to own or anything like that. Maybe a following Tidefall will reveal some interesting stuff down over here, but for the time being, I'm in no rush to actually claim ownership over this territory. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and loot it for influence. Let's pull this envoy back as promised, see how far we can go. Sure, that sounds good. What's the fastest route here? I can't attack them from up top. Dang. Really? Too much of a height difference. But coming in from this side should be good enough. Fair enough. Let's move there. And to there. Let's go. Should have let this guy top up his health. That was foolish of me. I lost track of that. That's just straight up stop paying attention. Markets research. We've got our trading post available to us now. Let's go ahead and also chase after geology, partly because this reduces the influence cost of founding camps, which, we're sort of up against. It also gives us extra science from camps. So if we're going to go around just putting camps down everywhere, that'll be advantageous to us for sure. Of course, we're currently doing persuasion first. If I'm not mistaken, that gives us a consular mission, and it allows us to force a treaty, but it was a consular mission that I was intrigued by, that plus 20 approval. You know what, I think I'll rush geology instead. Let's put geology up front. Alright. I should pull these guys back. Ah, it's so frustrating. I'm like tempted to see how much I'd heal if I just stay here. Or alternatively, you know what? I can just go ahead and turn this into a camp. Because we know that's coming. We know that's an inevitability. I'm more in a rush to expand here. No, let's evolve this into a camp. Go. Yeah, we'll heal up just fine over here. More turns is all we need. Push up to the edge of our boundary, and we'll go in next turn. Aika. Again, that's just the camp. And yeah, I could have waited the, whatever, 10 turns to establish this, but whatever, the 25% savings and influences is fine. I'm fine with that. I'm okay. We'll be okay. I'll turn this into a camp later, though, once we do have that secured, and then we'll evolve into cities and do the attachments. Alright, cool. Down over here, stay put until you're healed up. That should be next turn. Up over here. Let's push up to there. Spend another turn healing, and then continue our exploration. Cool. Oh, look at that. I love seeing the big, like, spurts of coral growth. It's just cool. Do I keep you waiting? Here, let's... I don't have the patience. Let's go. Let's see what awaits us over here. Right? If there's a threat, we'll retreat, and we'll end up with less than 50% health. We'll be fine. Hopefully. Famous last words. I know. I know. Are we good? Maxed out? Maxed out. Alright. Battle we go. I'd be a fool not to check for sure that I can't attack from up there. Yeah, okay. I just had to be sure. I know it was a waste of a turn. I know, but I had to be sure. Another minor faction discovered. Those guys look threatening. So this is because the coral from these guys spread out. Beneficial relations ahead. Attitude change to friendly. Sounds good to me. Do they like lose a couple of units and they decided that they actually need us after all? Either way, this is just because their coral spread in that direction. And we are actually a lot closer than I first anticipated. Alright, fair enough. Still, feels like we need another Tidefall before we'll be connected. On which note, want to quickly check. Yeah, we've eliminated 3 units. Pacified no villages. Go ahead and pick this up, whatever this is. Darkhorn Mail. There's a scary looking fortress. There's another curiosity up there we'll chase after. Down over here. We do still have our well-equipped positive status. I was really worried I threw that away with that one turn of back and forth. But really quickly, let's go ahead and take a look at our equipment. See if there isn't something better over here. So torso leathers is in fact what we already had. But now we've got Darkhorn Mail as well. +1 resilience, +50 health, +5 defense. I mean, that's just kind of a given. Yeah, sure, let's pop that on. Everything else can stay as is. Everything else can stay as is. But it does look like we have a conversation. Urgent affairs. The prospect of dust. Emmanuel, the debater, I believe you have something to bring before the council? I do. As our empire grows, so does our thirst for dust. I believe it would be prudent to secure new dust reserves by any means necessary. More reserves are always welcome, but what exactly are you suggesting? The seas are disappearing. Every tidefall, new lands are revealed. We must send dust prospecting missions into virgin territory before others snap up the riches. This is an intriguing proposition. And a dangerous one, too. You're against these reconnaissance operations, Athena the Silent? Reconnaissance, no. Seizing, yes. Knowing each of our adversaries' strategic resources would be valuable information, but we risk antagonizing powerful empires if we begin extraction operations in their backyards. We need the dust. Not at any price. This is a delicate matter. The dust is too valuable to pass up. I mean, we've been collecting a lot of dust, so I don't know if we need that much, to be perfectly honest. -5 approval. We can negotiate. We'll forgo the dust, but get something in exchange. Our reserves aren't large enough. We're losing out on 5 titanium here. Or we can simply do some recon. Some of the dust is ours. Get a bit of dust, and get plus 10 approval on Reefborn as well. I wish I could see what my current stockpile was. I can. Oh, you know what? First of all, we have bigger stockpiles now. Second of all, we actually don't have titanium. So maybe that's not a bad idea. Maybe that's not a bad idea. Where is... Said I could see it again through the quest journal. Where'd it go? What's the desiccated conch? I missed that. Plus 1 intuition, 39 damage. Hang on, I missed that completely. Oh, we can't use it, that's why. Hopefully that quest will pop up again before we can end the turn. Because, yeah, I don't see it in the quest journal. Fair enough. Well, I'm glad I could verify our resource situation, at least. Nonetheless, first order of business, I guess, would be to do this battle. Or is that the last order of business, because these guys have already moved? Let's do it. To the fortress we go. Underground Citadel. Strange machines, rusted and broken, litter the halls of this vast labyrinth, where once demons were said to roam. Sounds amply terrifying. 536 versus our 646, so we should be able to pull this off, hopefully unscathed. What are we up against? Tyrant of the Fortress, Cutting Strike, Defense Expert, and Defiant Gaze. Gains 10 shield per adjacent enemy unit. Ooh. I don't love that. Don't love that. Mighty Warsmith. We have access to these guys as well through our, if we were to make our pacified villages into protectorates. Defense Expert, and Defending, Defiant Gaze. Wow, okay. So just don't be adjacent to them then. Fair enough. Fair enough. And Scholastic. Oh, they have no defense, eh? These guys should be easy to wipe out. Breaching Attack. I say that. Again, famous last words. Incapacitating Strike. Range 3. 30 to 40. 40 to 49. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Let's go ahead and plunder, as promised. 600 influence? Are you kidding me? How can I say no to that? Yeah, let's plunder. And of course we're here as opposed to here, and they have access to some of the high ground for deployment as well. Don't love that. Don't love that. But it is what it is. Let's go ahead and move our archers up top. We're able to quickly, you know, get up there. Our cavalry. This is probably as good a position as it can be, because these guys will move up as far as they can. These guys will do the same up through this way. And if we're lucky, the enemy will have deployed down over here. Alright. Fine. Swap you around. We might pull the horror out for this one. Maybe. Okay. Now what do we have over here? These are terrain or battlefield modifiers, let's call them. And they just kind of point out just some generalizations about the battlefield that you're fighting on. Nothing too impactful for us here. So let's dive on in. What do we got? Okay. Okay. That's a decent bit of damage output. They do have their forest cover, which is what I was hoping to, like, keep away from them. I figure they're too far away for all of our units to hit, but we can move a little bit closer, a little bit closer. This will block their approach. They might try and flank us from down over here, which is definitely scary. Can I hit you? I can. Trying to figure out the best uses. Alright, here's what I'm thinking. These guys, you're going to stay put and go to defend here. Alright? Harmonious tactics kick in. I'm tempted to eliminate these guys first because that'll also block this angle of approach. It will expose us to these guys. Oh my goodness, look at how much damage we can do. And we can break their focus. But then we'll be surrounded, like these guys will be right there, right on us. So I think we go up over here and then push through to try and eliminate their range units. Yeah, that sounds good to me. That sounds good to me. Then you can come up to here to fire. You can come up to there to fire. Yeah, we should be able to eliminate these guys. So let's go. Nice. Okay, that's a good bit of damage. Fire from over there. Yeah, this should be good. Beautiful. Got the crit as well. Move you up to here. God, I would love to finish him off. Move you up to there. Alright. Two of them together should do the job. Almost. So close. Okay. Enemies up. Not too bad. Here we go. These are the scary units. Oh, that wasn't that bad at all. Okay. And obviously the adjacency is giving them a bit of shield and all that, right? Gotta keep that in mind. That was nothing. Beautiful. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, first things first, let's go ahead and get you defending. That worked wonderfully last time. Let's get you to fire here. Finish this guy off. Down he goes. Our cavalry can come down over here and cause a devastating amount of damage. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Alright, and then fire away. Or do we focus down on Buddy here? We can eliminate this unit completely. But I want to make sure they're not able to breach through here either, right? Like there's a couple things going on. Alright. You fire over here. You fire over here. Spread the love. Attack, presumably. Yep. A bit more damage that time, but we're still okay. Alright. Beautiful. Keep you defending. Use those harmonious tactics. All three of these guys fire down over here. I don't think we'll eliminate him, but we'll come very close. We don't have the high ground here, unfortunately. Oh, that's fine. Come on. Beautiful. God, that's so much damage. That's so much damage. Fire away. He's vulnerable now as well. Good stuff. Beautiful stuff. And, oh, so very close. So very close. So we got this. We're going to come around and hit the cavalry. Nice. I don't mind that. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Let's get you defending. Sure, why not? Soften you up. Hit you. And finish the job. Let's go. Beautiful. 625 dust. That's no joke. Reinforced bow. Nice. Plus 43 damage on hero. Are you kidding me? What? Okay. Scion's charm. Plus 1 determination. And Mantle of Protection. Another consumable giving us the Mantle of Protection power. Shield the allied units for 40 shield. Don't consume the action. Destroy the consumable after use. Fair enough. Polemophon just gained 2 more levels off the back of that. Alright, good stuff. Acknowledge that. That's a bunch of influence gained. This army obviously needs to pull back and heal up. We'll go ahead and pick up this curiosity before we do that. Or actually, is our cavalry able to? No. Just finished a battle. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll pull back up. We'll heal up. But let's take a look and see what we can do with this equipment. You kidding me? Plus 2 might, plus 1 resilience, plus 43 damage on hero. So it's only a little different from what we were already at. But we go from Like, that's no joke. 43 to 53 becomes 54 to 64. That's no small amount. Still gonna keep the Cipher of Horror on us, I guess. Still need to replace that. A lot of money to be made over here if I feel like selling. But yes, over to our profile first. No friends available to us. No nemesis either. But to our skill tree next. 2 hero points available. I wasn't expecting to level up so much. I kind of had an idea that I wanted this right off the bat, but I wasn't expecting to gain 2 more so quickly. Guiding Light adds 5 damage to non-hero range units of the army. I mean, we're pretty range focused. If once I unlock the last slot in this army, I can go ahead and make them archers as well, and that kind of fits thematically, I suppose. So we could do that. Could do that. Care for recovery shot so much. We just got a boost to our might. Adds 10 max health to itself. Adds 3 extra max health. Not in a rush for that. Experience. When adjacent to a friendly defending unit, adds critical chance. Which is easy enough to set up, and we'll always have defending units, so that's not bad. But you know what, yeah, let's go with Guiding Light. When in battle, adds 5 damage to non-hero range units of the army. Adds 1 extra damage chance per intuition. Yeah, curious what that is as well. Our intuition isn't terrible. So we can do that, and we can also increase, maybe we increase our intuition actually. Sure. Confirm that. Hopefully the right call. We'll find out soon enough. Done. And that's that turn done. Honestly, when you have like 700 influence, you really got to wonder, like, do I really need to save 25%? Yeah, it's not insignificant. That's not insignificant. But I am also wondering about expanding down towards this anomaly. Industry, science, some stability as well, or approval, I should say. I keep thinking stability. Again, we've got the coral. Heck, you know what? Why not? Get some dust en route. Sure. That feels right. We put a lab down over here or something, take advantage of the anomaly. So much surplus after this completes. We also have trading posts, right? Roads will be automatically created between districts containing a trading post. Bit of a... We'll need another trading post down over here to actually make a connection. So a little premature maybe, but something to consider. Something to consider. Alternatively, a second army. End our turn there. And let's see what our coral growth looks like. Damn it, we'd already pacified this village. Alright, it might be time to give up on that flask so we can complete these quests. Let's go for it. I'm a man of my word. That's what I said we'd do. Let's do it. Bribe. Pay. Ah, there we go. Pay flask of dust fire. Go for it. Oh, there's the prospect of dust from before. So yeah, let's go ahead and negotiate. Forgo the dust, but get something in exchange. Let's secure some titanium. We'll hold off on any prospecting missions in exchange for other resources. That way we keep diplomatic relations civil. Not as sweet as dust, but still a boon. Okay. And... okay, back to deep thought now. We triggered a few quests all at once. Ah, Perogira the Innumerable. Sorry, I read a comment in the previous episode's comments that said Pierogi and Giro. That's where the name, that's the name, Pirogiro. And I always now extra hesitate to read this name that I was already struggling with. Because all I can think of is Pierogis and Giros. Perogira the Innumerable. You have procured the confections, as I knew you would. Opportunely so. We have no great luxury of time. The dying of days approaches. Whatever time remains, you're welcome at our keep. Please, help yourself to the stores. It will surely be more use to you now than to us. Extra titanium, pacify the unseeing seers, and quest concluded. Beautiful. Bringing us now to our main quest line, not at the chorus. Good news, Plero. We made significant inroads with the Citadels who aren't our major rivals. In time, all beings on Citadel will understand that they too are part of the Harmony. Another 225 influence. I forgot this was en route. My goodness, it's time to establish our second city, I think. There is other news, Plurgira. I will let Liagrammel explain. The Oldtimer insists you hear this from him. So, what does my master statesman want to tell me? To keep your wits about you. My lord, during the recent missions we came across, how do I explain this? An aspect wandering the uncharted lands. After the storms and the dieback and the starfall, it is hardly surprising that some wander lost or in doubt. I would agree, except that this aspect, Xenos, is not in the chorus. We found them with our eyes, not our minds, my lord. How could this be? One of our number cut off from the chorus? Another clan, then? A different chorus? I must speak with them. Of course, my lord. Be aware, though, Xenos remembers nothing except their name. They could be dangerous. I'll have the guards bring them. Thank you, my lord. I dare to ask to see you, though you do not know me, nor I you. So this is Xenos the Unfamiliar, an aspect's outsider. He looks pretty fancy. You are welcome to the Harmony, though I confess this is hard to process, to digest. You stand here, yet not a whisper of your thought echoes in the chorus. Who are you, Xenos? You start with the most difficult question. I do not know who I am. I have only flashes of memories. Of noise and flame, stars exploding, screams in the chorus, but nothing is clear or substantial. I need help, my lord, to understand who I am, and what happened. We will help you, Xenos. We will return you to the Harmony. What would be the best way to bring out those lost memories? So, do we want to provoke? Explore 20% of Sayada, giving us... Ooh. Plus 5 maximum damage on units, and plus 5 minimum... Okay, so plus 5 damage for 10 turns. Okay, fair enough. So, do we provoke by exploring more of Sayada, or do we excavate by building 2 labs? So, excavation is much easier for us. We are already planning on building some labs. We have good adjacency bonuses we're going to take advantage of anyway. Whereas exploration feels like it's going to take a significantly longer amount of time. So let's go ahead and excavate as a means to bring out those lost memories. Alright, build 2 labs, fair enough, easy enough. Reefborn is waiting for orders, so we'll go ahead and pop a lab down over here, and I think it'll only take 2 turns. My goodness, yeah. So 2 turns for the one down there, and then maybe we pop another one down, and we can expand all the way up to here if we want to. There's an anomaly over here, so we can pop a lab down over there if we want to, or down here. There's options. We got options. Heck, I could pop a lab down over here, or over here. We got coral. Yeah, let's go ahead and take advantage of this anomaly with some additional labs. But folks, that and much more besides, we'll have to wait until next time. We'll continue to explore in this general direction. Looks like we have another fortress. Looks like, yep, this land does continue. I was worried a bit that we were going to be cut off from anybody else, but this land does continue, so we'll continue to explore and see what awaits us next time. Folks, hope you enjoyed this session. If you did, you know what to do. Let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. As always, makes a big difference in letting me know what people are enjoying on the channel. Lets me know that I should do Endless Legend 2 on the channel, you know, as more opportunities to do so present themselves. But otherwise as well, just, yeah, lets me know you're having a good time. As always, a massive thanks goes out to all of the channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. They'll keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.